Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Interview series, and today I have two extremely important guests from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. These are two really big names that I'm sure everybody listening to this video has known. They are huge in the buying and selling business of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that is Henry and Dio from YGO Black Market. How are you guys?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Fantastic. Well, it's really great to have you guys here. So thanks so much for coming. And I'm sure, like I said, everybody knows who you are, but I think a lot of people don't know kind of like the behind the scenes that you guys have to deal with and kind of your upbringing and how you got into the business. So just wanting to thank you all so much for giving me the chance to interview you guys on this topic. And I know you all are kind of really wanting to get that out there so people know, what you do aside from just like providing product for people and buying and selling goods. So just to kind of start off here, I'd like to, know a little bit about you guys. So Dio, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, where do I start? I really don't know where to start. Sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. Give us some of your, interest outside of the business.
I just like any typical male around this age. I like playing video games. I was like just games overall. Like there's a video game, card games. I like playing a lot of board games.
Yeah.
I play a lot of League. I don't know. I play a lot.
No, it's
like-
awesome. Do you guys play like games together and stuff like that, or is it more of just kind of like a you do you?
Really, Dio sucks at shooters.
Henry mainly plays shooters. I mainly play League or like Among Us, Fall Guys.
Oh, that's also very popular games.
Yeah. But besides that, I mainly just play League.
Yeah, that's fair. And Henry, how about yourself?
Play a lot of games. I used to break dance back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's definitely something I wouldn't. I wouldn't have.
I was pretty good. I like b-boyed for like 3-4 years all of high school.
Really? So you said that was in high school?
Yeah. Now I'm kind of fat, so. Yeah.
And I feel you there.
That extra quarantine weight's holding you down.
No, it's that girlfriend weight. You know what I'm saying? The second I get a girlfriend, it's like 15 pounds a year.
Yeah. No,
Dude,
I totally understand. Oh my god.
I was 200 pounds 5 years ago before I got with that.
So you were always fat.
Oh my god. So
Okay,
okay.
I'm back to where I was right after high school. I was pretty big in high school.
Have you two known each other for very long? Like, did you guys go to high school together, or have you just, how long have you guys known each other?
We met each other through Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
Let me tell you,
I think it was a year
Henry-
after I made YBM.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Henry, my first impression of Henry was Henry is a F-boy. Who's chill.
Protecting the YouTube monetization, I appreciate it. Well, it's awesome. So, you guys basically co-own YBM, is that correct? Or are one of you like the owner and the other one has, like stake in the business? Or how does that all work?
I guess you could say we co-own it.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Nice. So, what are your all's roles within the company? So, I see you all post very frequently on like the Yu-Gi-Oh trading pages and whatnot. I know you guys do like a lot of buying and selling. I see a lot of Dio, I think probably because I just interact with him kind of more in the day-to-day when it comes to buying product. But I also see Henry. I see your post a lot. I feel like I see you post more singles, and I see Dio moving more product. Is that kind of the format that you guys prefer, or does it really just kind of depend on what's going on?
Basically.
Yeah, like I did. Go ahead, Henry.
Not you.
Not you. Not.
So polite. You guys are great.
Okay. Well, Dio generally works with like the product and pushing out the product, and he does most of the labor. I generally buy like the singles and collections from everyone, then put it to YBM, and then Dio is usually the one packing out all the orders and all the product and stuff like that, and selling the product.
No, it's fantastic. Seems like you guys have the roles pretty down pat. Now, in the interview that I did with Arya, him and I talked a little bit about his relationship with YBM as a whole. Primarily Dio, I know he works with you too, Henry, when it comes to getting cards that he needs for his collection and stuff. So when it comes to kind of like your networking and working with other people, how does that usually pan out?
It's very cool. You talk to a lot of people. A lot of people have really nice cards, and then their friends have nice cards, and then you just want all their cards, and you get to the point where where someone wants something, and someone has something, you just connect those you connect those dots and you make money, I guess.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a networking tree almost. Like you start with one person, that person knows somebody, gets them in touch with you, and then it just kind of balls out of control from there.
Pretty cool.
Like with that too, like obviously we give I don't want to say the best, but really fair prices when it comes to everything. Like obviously people wouldn't sell to us if they weren't comfortable with the prices that we give. So like, once their friends tell their friends, oh, so and so pays, or Henry YBM pays well, and then they just it kind of keeps trickling down from there.
It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice when you have like people always coming back and selling cards, and like they just tell you a number and they know you'll pay it, and then you just pay it. And
Oh,
you all
definitely,
make money.
and I have all people know from experience because I've been dealing with you guys, I think, since I've actually gotten into the game. I think the first sealed product was actually a case that I bought from Dio, and this was, God, years ago, but I mean, it was so easy because getting into the trading pages, Dio's name and YBM and Henry get thrown around so much, it's kind of hard to not know what you guys are doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
just want some really nice cards to look at. If I get into something really bad, I call it the emergency funds, and then just cash out.
Nice.
Uh,
That's
hopefully I'll
definitely a
never
good thing to
have to do that.
have.
Hopefully I never have to do that.
So when it comes to like the actual card game, do you guys just prefer to collect or do you guys play competitive? I'm not sure if, I've never personally seen your all's post about it, and I'm, sure a lot of other people are wanting to know if you guys, actually do play competitively or not.
You can go first, Dio.
I used to play competitive. Obviously, like I have maybe like 8 to 10 bubbles from like YCSs. I just can never break the bubble.
Oh, the feels.
Yeah, well, like after the time that I enjoyed playing the most was right before Lynx came out, when essentially when Minerva after Minerva got released as
Yeah.
a YCS prize card. I had honestly the funnest time playing.
Minerva
but
Sworn was such a
before
fun
that,
deck.
it was fun. Like even if I lost, like if I go to like tournaments and lost, I still had fun.
I've been told that milling 3 from your deck and then drawing cards is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Dio be straight cheesing people with S0 though.
Hey,
that was
Oh my
great
God.
card.
That was a fun build. That was a really fun build.
S0 and grass was actually disgusting.
God, those are the good old days. So,
Yeah.
Henry, what about yourself? Do you play at all? Do you just collect, or?
I play a lot of like retro formats like Goat, Land. I collect a lot of cards, because
So,
it's
when
very
you say
nostalgic.
plant, is that Edison format?
No, it's Tengu Plants.
Tengu plants,
the
okay.
one
I was gonna
that
say there's like the quick draw dandy deck I know in Edison that's pretty popular.
yeah. I don't know. Dandy's too big brain.
too
Not Dandy,
many
Quick Draw,
synchro plays.
too many numbers. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually around the time I started playing, by the way.
Oh, is that when you started
right
playing?
After, right after, I believe was YCS Anaheim was the first YCS that I attended, and it was with the one that Angel Flores won with Heroes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was.
Funny story about that.
Feels like it was
the
so long
YCS,
ago.
Yeah, funny story about the YCS. I actually lost the prize card playoffs to what's the name, to Robbie Vajarian. Robbie. And I was playing. I borrowed my friend's clan deck, and he was playing Gatekeeper, so he goes first and just Royal Tributes my whole hand.
Royal Tribute.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Fun days.
That's hilarious. So moving on here, when you talk about the business, a lot of people just kind of assume you've been around for a while. Kind of like me, when I first got into the game, I just knew you guys existed. I didn't really know for how long. So, just to get kind of your all's timeline out there, when did YBM really become a thing?
It was 2015.
2015.
Oh, so you
think
guys have been around for coming up on 6 years.
It's 2015 or 2016. I think it was like mid 2015, like July-ish.
Wow, that's awesome.
I could check this actually.
Check out the
I
group,
probably
what's
should have
great
this
is
on hand. But I'm pretty sure it's 2015.
Well, being
It
such a
took me
big
years,
name
but,
has
like,
probably done a lot for you
6
guys when it
years,
comes to
something
getting
like
like
that.
repeat business and whatnot.
How do you check?
I think
Anyway.
Oh God, it would be so. I'm sure it's so hard just to check the records on a whim like that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's been roughly 5, almost coming up on 6 years at this point. You guys have been around long enough to kind of make pretty strong connections. Is there anybody in particular that you guys sell to, like big name people out there that most people might not know actually play Yu-Gi-Oh or collect the cards?
We sent Moist Critical some cases, and he pulled.
Oh
pretty well.
wow,
He
really?
won it. Yeah, one of the cases he pulled 2 Starlights out of, which is kind of crazy.
That's insane. Is he still buying from you guys?
He doesn't really buy from him. We just, it's kind of like a relationship kind of thing. We just pass him stuff.
Just whenever it comes across, like he's like, reaching out, or you guys reach out to him.
There's also like Jarvis Johnson. He always buys from us, and we always like want to hook him up, but he just like buys from us without like letting us know, so we can't really hook him up.
So it's kind of just like I guess he places like his orders online without letting you guys know.
He heard some good things about us, so he just started buying from us, which is pretty cool.
That's such a good thing to hear from somebody that's so big, is that your name had reached out to them and they know you, which is just insane. So thinking about these like big name people that know who you all are and are like actively buying your product must be insane. Did you guys ever think you'd get to that point?
Like I mean, I kind of just shot in the dark and see what happens. Like the initial like talking to them was kind of intimidating, because like you don't really expect like for them to reply to you because they're so big or whatever.
Yeah.
But like once you break the ice, and it's like the conversation is like super chill, and you just get to see the type of person they are, and like see that like they're actually genuine, and like the way they are is like the way they present themselves. And it's really cool to talk to them.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. That's a really good kind of talking point to kind of go from like where you all started as a business. Did you have a lot of connections when you all first started off, or did you guys do the typical start small and then get bigger?
Start small, get bigger.
Start small, yeah.
I think a good way I like built myself up is like I built myself up around like high end like max ready cards. So like people would come to me for like high end cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you just get like the better of people, the less casual like base, but like it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's just like
kind of getting your name out there, making the connections, whether it's on just like a case-by-case basis or, just kind of making posts here and there to let everybody know what you guys have been up to.
I think it's more like working with like high-end cards brings like bigger fish, and bigger fish have bigger names for the most part,
Yeah, so it's kind of, did you start with product, or did you start at the single?
Started with
the
singles. I started doing cards around when I think the Volcanic deck first like started being really good.
Oh boy,
the
Rocket and Shell and
yeah. So I bought some like multi rockets, like secret rockets, multi shells and stuff like that, and multi others. They were just like really hot moves, and I don't know,
just kind of
worked really well.
Yeah, balled out of control from there, it seems. So when would you say that you guys kind of started delving into, buying and selling actual cases and product and stuff? Because I know, like you said, you all started off pretty much, moving singles and buying singles and collections and stuff like that. When did you all make the jump to product, and how did you all kind of quantify that? When did, more or less, how did you figure that would probably be like the way that you want to move the company?
I mean, I did product for a couple of years already, but mainly because I knew about the product was somewhat profitable, because I used to, when I started doing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was working with super special awesome cards, with SSA cards.
Yeah. That's another big name that I think a lot of people are probably familiar with.
Yeah. So like pretty much everything I'd known, or like what I learned about Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's just cards or sealed, I essentially learned with them, and then eventually just I started branching off by myself. I did quit a couple of times where like I just stopped doing it altogether, but the money was just there. Like it was just I would start back up little by little, and then it just like it dragged me back in.
Sure. So when it comes to like, oh, go ahead.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of feedback there. I think.
Whoa.
Hello?
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry about that. So when it comes to it's like sealed product and then singles, do you guys have a preference over which one that you do more of? Because I'm sure there's a larger room for profit when it comes to singles, in terms of like buying low, selling high, but when it comes to product, you can really only make so much on it. Is there like a preference that you guys have over, do you do more sealed business or more like singles business?
I think YBM does it all,
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure we push a lot of like, it's probably like the same amount of sealed and singles profit margin wise
Mm-hmm.
for the amount we push out.
So it's not really
Like,
something that you guys like actively think of. So it's like, this quarter we need to do more sealed product, or this quarter I'd like to try to delve more into like buying collections.
we're just trying to like have everything that everyone needs kind of thing, so we can like push out what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. So speaking of, your longevity in the business, when you all were younger, was there anything that really made you think that you'd be going into a business like this? Did you always kind of have the dream of maybe owning your own business, or doing something related to something that you guys are kind of passionate about? Because obviously you wouldn't be in this business if you didn't just have a general like a genuine love for the card game and for the community.
I honestly didn't even think. I didn't see like owning a business around Yu-Gi-Oh was ever like the thing I wanted to do when I grew up. I always had that mentality, like that kind of the entrepreneur mentality of like starting something, but I never thought it would just land on Yu-Gi-Oh specifically.
So did you play when you were younger also, or how did you kind of get into the Yu-Gi-Oh like realm?
I heard about Yu-Gi-Oh when I was in 5th grade. I was in Mexico. I was going to school in Mexico, and one of my friends had just came back from the U.S. and brought cards back, and he just kind of like showed it to us. We got a little bit into it, and then the show actually started airing in Mexico. So we would watch it at night. We would like write down card names and their effects in a piece of paper, and just kind of brought it to school the next day and just play with it and play like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's that's so reminiscent of probably what a lot of people's childhoods were like, because looking back, especially to my childhood also, I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford packs of cards, and I wasn't gonna ask my parents to get my ass whooped if I did. They're like, be grateful for what you already have. So me and my friends pretty much did the same thing. We would just either make up our own cards, or we would do what you did and then write the name of the cards and their effects, and slip them, draw them on the backs of paper and try to play with them like that. And that's that's hilarious because it's just so relatable.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just like that's how they started it, or like especially people that didn't have access to like just packs, or no, that's what so many people make proxies out of, just with the printer or with just random card, like just write down the card name in a sleeve and put it there.
Yeah, exactly. And Henry, what about yourself? How did you kind of get into Yu-Gi-Oh as a game?
I mean, I've always liked the cards. Like I didn't really get to like have cards, like a good amount of cards, until like I could buy them for myself, because like when I was younger, my parents were still what's called immigrated, and they were still on the come up. So I didn't really have that luxury. I don't think Dio did either, but the only thing, fuck.
You're fine.
I don't know. I've always watched the show. I like the show. I never had cards, but then once I started having money, I started buying cards for myself. Started enjoying the game a little more.
Yeah, just kind of snowballed after that. It's the interest in the show kind of moves to the interest in the card game. People start collecting, start buying and selling. It seems to be a pretty common theme where they start young. Because I watched Yu-Gi-Oh when I was growing up also. But I did a thing where, and I think, Dio said he did the exact same thing, where he kind of stopped playing for a while, then picked the card game back up, then stopped playing. I had kind of like a longer stint between when I dropped the cards and then like picked them back up, because I think I picked everything back up like around when I graduated high school as a way to kind of like connect with more people. We had a pretty big scene here, and I know out in California, where you guys are located out of, you all have a pretty big Yu-Gi-Oh scene out there too.
The regionals be extra big.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
And
even like mini YCSs.
Same with like the Midwest. Like we have just a lot of like really big name players. So out here, and I know out in California, you guys have a ton of big, big name players as well. Is the local scene something that kind of encouraged you all to like play and collect more, or did you just kind of like jump into it head first, knowing that like no matter what, you guys were just gonna like play and collect and just have fun?
I remember the first time I went to locals, it was like around Lord of the Titanian Galaxy. It just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was the first time like me having money too. So I bought a box. I pulled the Draco set.
Oh my god, that's
I
insane!
know it was insane. I was like, what?
If someone's gonna get you into competitive, it's gonna be pulling one of the most expensive cards known to man at the time.
Yeah, but I think I kind of I want to say I undersold it because I sold it to the locals for $100.
No,
I
no.
think at the time they were like $200 or like more.
Yeah, it kind of hit like dad prices almost. With Dark Arm Dragon was just insanely expensive. I mean, you could blow a paycheck on a single copy almost. It felt like.
Yeah.
It was pretty insane. That Tekken Galaxy, those big guys, the big guys from Galaxy Overload, just as soon as the
like 100 too.
Dragon Rulers when it like came out, that card would just skyrocketed too.
Yeah, it's just
remember
everything that's become meta relevant at that time was extremely expensive, and it's kind of
Super rejuice for like $10-20.
Yeah, exactly. And I think things started to get a little cheaper when Konami started doing like the 2 secrets a box, you know, because things got a little bit easier to get a hold of.
I remember when Stormer Ragnarok came out and the special edition came out, and like Shein and Isans were 40, like 35, 40 pop. Me and a friend would just they used to sell the boxes like for 3 for 20, were Frankincense. They would work, and we would just split it, and then kept pulling the keys on it, just like flipping it. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to locals. I played with my like really like butt hero deck, and I played against Max Power. I was playing against Max Power Mermail, and I didn't know what Lin did, so I would absolute zero the Lin, and I would just get destroyed.
Oh no.
Well, I didn't know what Abyssphere did either, and I would torrential whatever monster they summoned. Crazy.
That's
I didn't know what time
amazing.
it was too.
Oh my gosh, I was the same way when I first started attending locals. We had a guy there who was, he topped like all the Midwest regionals, was like winning events here and there, and he was playing with Dolce. And I got in and I was like, I don't know what I want to play. So some guy gave me, like, I think the store gave me like a baby raccoon deck back when like Sandayu had first come out. And they're like, oh, just play this. And I was just, I got mopped. I was like reading his cards. I'm like, what does Tiramisu do? And you know, he's like, oh, it spins back 2 cards. And I try to like chain to it, and he was like, well, this doesn't target. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I got waxed so hard. It's like, what do you mean these cards send themselves back to the deck? This is insane. So aside from you know, your all's current business and everything like that, when it comes to people wanting to kind of connect with you guys and reach out when it comes to just, you know, maybe buying or selling or just having questions about the game in general, what is the best way to get in touch with you all?
It really, for me, it really depends. Obviously in the mornings, or like from like 8 till 4, I'm doing orders. So even though I am on the computer, I'm not on Facebook. So I'm not like, if I might see your message, but I'm not like, if I don't reply right away, it just gets bumped down by another message, and most of the time I just don't get to it. When I'm not doing orders and you message me, I usually reply right away because I usually have my phone in my hand anyways. But I think just the business email, which is sales@YGOBlackMarket.com, is the best way to contact us and actually get a response, at least for me. Henry usually responds right away. I'm just like, since I do a lot of the labor, like most of the labor.
That's true.
I just like, I'm not on Facebook 24/7. Like, yeah, Facebook might say I'm active, but I'm actually just not on that tab, essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Makes a lot of sense, and I've never had an issue getting a hold of either of you, honestly. Dio, you usually respond within a day, which for someone that runs, you know, as much as you do when you're filling orders and everything like that, I think giving it like a day is perfectly fine. But for the people that are watching the video, one thing to note is that these guys are based out of California, so you have to give them a little bit more time, because if it's like, you know, early in the morning for us, it's still super early for them because we're personally, I'm on the Eastern time zone. I'm an EST here in the Midwest. You guys are way out there California time, so you're all 3 hours behind us. So when you're trying to communicate with Henry and Dio, just be aware of like the time difference because it might be like early for you guys, but it's still hard for them to kind of like get going. It would still be early for them.
I mean, I'm generally awake from like 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. and Dio's awake like 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m.
Y'all got the
Kinda
time
weird.
zones covered. You are awake. One of you's awake 24/7. It's just like the company never has like nobody at the mast or at the helm.
Also, on the side note too, but you could also message the Facebook page, the YBM face page, because it's not only me and Henry looking at those messages. We also have a few other people replying to those messages. Obviously, if it's like a vague question, they'll be able to answer it. But if it's more specific, they'll let us know once we are available, and we'll obviously reply right away.
Yeah, since you guys have kind of naturally segued it toward the end of the video here, which is great and fantastic, I did want to ask you guys, would you like to plug your socials so people know kind of where to find you and how to get in contact with you? I'll have all their socials and everything and you know their website down in the comments or down in the description of the video, but I would like to hear them, you know, plug it here in the video for you guys.
I got this, Dio. All right. Our website, YGOBlackMarket.com. Our Instagram at YGO Black Market. Our Facebook page, the YGO Black Market. And then our Facebook group, the Facebook group is YGO Black Market. Pretty simple.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. You guys have made it pretty easy for people to get a hold of you, it seems.
Well, actually, also, if you need to email us at, oh, no, it's sales. Wait, is it sales? Sales at YGOBlackMarket.com.
Look at that. That's like, what, 6, 7 ways to get a hold of you guys?
I know, it's so simple. It's just so simple.
Do you guys have an Instagram by chance?
Yeah. I just said it.
Oh,
Okay,
did you? I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
YGO Black Market.
There you go, at YGO Black Market. Fantastic. So, guys, I would just want to take this time to thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It was fantastic. In the next video, I would love to kind of delve deeper and peel the curtain back a little bit, touch on how you guys order your product and, you know, learning from your, you know, wins and your losses and stuff like that. So if you guys, yeah, I'm so excited for this next video with you guys because it's really kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the business. And I think that's what a lot of people really miss out on when they're communicating with you guys, that you all have really been through the ringer. There's a lot of ups and a lot of downs in the business. And, you know, this is just kind of like the teaser, get people really interested in it so they, you know, tune in for the next one. So guys, just thank you so much for being on this. And yeah, I look forward to the next video with you all.